Good morning. Today is March 18th, 2024. We continue with our Tanya, with our daily morning Tanya. It's about 5:30 in the morning, a little bit earlier than 5:45, but I got up a little bit earlier today. Have a little cold today, so couldn't sleep too good. It gave me an opportunity to get up a little bit earlier. Maybe I'll try to catch up some nap later during the day if I can. We're in chapter 27. Yesterday we talked about how to handle difficulties, problems, family problems, health problems, financial problems, religious problems. We still have to get back to that. That topic is difficult. But we'll move on for now to chapter 27, which is called "You Are Wonderfully Imperfect," dealing with inappropriate thoughts. And here Tanya talks about people who try. Tanya says you want to try to come closer to God. And of course, we keep repeating this again and again, that in Tanya, based on Zohar, Kabbalah, it's not you want to get closer to God, but you become, through the Chokhmah element, attribute of your soul, to become one with. You're always one with, and you have the realization that you're really one. That's the effort. But so either way, whether people say I want to get closer to God, or they understand the Tanya concept, they become one with God in the concept of the non-duality. In either case, you try and you keep failing. You say, I still have bad thoughts come to you. So I can become a tzaddik. So Tanya said in the beginning, reminds us, we mentioned that the way God does it, He sends to the world certain abilities to some people and some other abilities to other people. Why He does that, why He chooses me to become this and that person to become that, only He knows. But He wants to have a diversity in the world, and He creates abilities to become, or sometimes He will send. I mean, the common midrashic point that there's, at any given time, there's a 36 tzaddikim exist any given time. They're hidden tzaddikim. We might not know, but your neighbor might be tzaddik. So it says, if you aim for lower goal of Benoni now, which is realistic, you can succeed and feel happy about your achievement. If you aim to be a tzaddik, expecting not to have inappropriate thoughts at all, just think, I don't think about lustful thoughts or bad thoughts, and they still come to me. Tanya doesn't blame you for that. Tanya said, that's normal, as long as you don't succumb to that, as long as you have control of that. The tzaddik transformed his soul, his animal soul, to help his divine soul. And he doesn't have the thoughts at all. But the Benoni, which is most of us, still have the thoughts, and the point Tanya is making, you're human. Just don't be controlled by that. Control it. If you aim to be a tzaddik, expecting not to have inappropriate thoughts at all, you are setting yourself up for disappointment. And then Tanya continues saying that, and the notion that God derives pleasure in two different ways is hinted in the verse, and make me delicacies that I love, Genesis 27:4, where the use of term delicacies in the plural suggests two different kinds of justification. Of course, we know that Torah is read on different levels, in a just blatantly direct level, like Esau making delicacies for his father Jacob, and it also has esoteric, Kabbalistic meaning, and in literal level, the verse was required from Isaac to Esau to prepare, request from Isaac to Esau to prepare food for him. But Zohar, Tikkunei Zohar, reads it as a request from God to the Jewish people. So God wants diversity. And then again, Tanya repeats the point that the evil, and that is why evil exists, to glorify God through its suppression of the evil and eventual elimination. So again, the idea that God wants to explore different types of human good behavior is because God feels that somebody who has sinned, not knowingly, not knowingly sinning and then repenting, but sinning and then honestly trying to get the forgiveness, the teshuva for that, that person just as good, just as strong, that person had never sinned. You would say it's kind of counterintuitive, not logical. Well, the person who never sinned, it's tzaddik, a very good person. And the person who sinned and then repented, also good, of course, but not as good as tzaddik. Tanya doesn't acknowledge that. Tanya says there's a benefit, both pluses and minuses, for tzaddik who never experienced sin, so he didn't experience ability to do teshuva, to try to get yourself cleaned, modified, rectified, come close, unity with God. Whereas Benoni, who did sin and then repented, went through a process, the task subdued his evil inclination, and therefore he has a certain merit that is beyond the merit of tzaddikim. Both of these characteristics are important. Both of the characteristics are very valuable to God. And therefore, it's a good consolation to all of us that you're lacking something a little bit in your face, you're missing something, you regret it. Do the best you can. And then once you have tried that, be at peace with yourself, be at peace with God, and not chastise yourself too much for not being able to get certain lofty goals that perhaps was not in store for you. And that's the kaleidoscope of the universe of God, that He created differences between us, and each difference, as long as our hearts are yearning for unity with the Almighty, as long as we all do that, or try to do it, or make mistakes and eventually rectify them, that makes a harmony of diversity in the world. And that is why, repeating, God even created evil in order for us to subdue and overcome it. Yesterday we spoke that sometimes, the day before yesterday, evil is so strong that we say, God, listen, take away some of my free choice. I can't handle it. And there are critical situations that God will jump in and interfere in a way to, I don't want to say overrun our free choice, but perhaps to help us when it becomes extremely difficult for us to, with our free choice, to take the side of right. When difficulties of life make it, I wouldn't say impossible, but very difficult to handle. So with that, we're going to continue with the chapter 27 and in 28, which will be when your mind wanders inappropriate thoughts during prayer. So what happens when you pray and you have an appropriate thought? Is that bad? So we're going to talk about this tomorrow. Have a great day.